Everyone, it's today I want to talk to you about the differences between my two favourite pieces of wearable tech, my Apple Watch 5 and my Fitbit Inspire HR watches. So it is a Sunday morning and I have to confess I am dressed inappropriately. Not because of my beautiful promotional branded t-shirt, but I didn't realise it was quite humid today. I should put the vest on. It's I think it's like 19 degrees, but feels like 22 or something. So it's really humid. It's one of those days where sweating is going to be an issue. I'm only going to do 10k today, as I'm training up for the virtual London Marathon, which is on the 4th of October. Obviously, it was supposed to be the real deal, but due to COVID, it's been knocked back. But definitely going to do the virtual because you still get a finisher's medal and a t-shirt. I'm mulling over whether to go for my world record attempt. Truth be told, I could probably do with a bit more, might be a few more miles on the legs, barefoot style. I know I've been churning them out, but 5 calf tears and counting. I've done over half marathon distance with my barefoot style footwear on, but do it for a marathon is going to be a real challenge. And if I can get, I mean, according to Tanda, which I've talked about in the previous vlog episode, I should be on track to run a half marathon based on my training at 3 hours 39. PB is 3 hours 38. So considering I've been doing it all barefoot is interesting. But more importantly, I think the factor here is that because I've been running every day, I've been doing lots of short distances. So it's whether my muscles can actually take the marathon distance, well, my calf muscles in particular. The rest of my body's fine. Fitness-wise, I'm fine. It's just the calf muscles. So I'm definitely going to do the virtual London Marathon on the 4th, but I will definitely do it in barefoot. We'll try barefoot style, but I haven't decided whether to go all out. And I'm negotiating with Guinness World Records at the moment to see whether they can actually adjudicate for me as well. So watch this space. I will, I think I've done a video before with my full-on ninja kit. Bizarrely, the barefoot running is actually not the hardest bit. It's the restricted breathing and the overheating suit, which causes the biggest challenges. But anyway, I digress. So that's just a bit of an update on me running-wise, what's in my running calendar. So my two favourite pieces of wearable tech on my two wrists. You can see one with a white strap, which is my Apple Watch 5, and one on my wrist on my right hand, which is the black strap, which is the Fitbit Inspire HR. So why do I wear two watches? Well, I have to be a little bit careful. I can actually joke about this because I am half Chinese, but you know, the Chinese have a reputation for loving their technology. Why shouldn't I wear two watches based on that fact alone? But anyway, it's not because of that. There is a major difference between the two. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to talk you through all the cool things I do with both. Hopefully gives you some ideas and some inspirations of how you can use tech to help improve your life, not just your running. And I hope you find it useful. So basically, I'm going to start with the Fitbit because the Apple Watch 5 does so much. So much more than the Fitbit. He weren't giving me any leeway, was he? But yeah, the Apple Watch 5 does so much more than the Fitbit Inspire HR. The Fitbit can do a bit more than I actually use it for, without a doubt. But it is a pretty basic smartwatch. It will give you notifications and stuff. And there are a few little things you can do with it, like specific tracking exercise and that side of things. But I don't use it for any of those reasons. I use it as a daily fitness tracker. I mean, when I say daily fitness, I mean daily, basically in replacement of the Apple Activity app. Now, don't get me wrong, I do like the Apple Activity app, but I don't like the whole, everything that goes with it. I find the Apple Health element to it and not as user friendly and as easy to use as the Fitbit. So for day to day, how many steps I've done, general heart rate tracking and stuff like that, and food tracking, water consumption, I do all through my Fitbit Inspire HR. Now you can absolutely do it on the Apple Watch 5, and you can probably find lots of different apps, but I often talk about the path of least resistance, and I find using Fitbit far less resistant than the actual native Apple app. I don't really want to use a third-party Apple app because it's I always think the native ones are normally the best, so I just thought I'd get something completely separate. However, that wasn't a big enough reason for me to take the Fitbit Inspire HR or purchase that, because it's about, I think it's 80 quid or something, 70 quid maybe. So it's not hugely expensive when it comes to smartwatches, but still enough of an investment to make you justify its purchase. The main reason for buying it was it has a 5-day battery life, but the Apple Watch 5 only lasts 24 hours to charge it every day. So why is that massive for you? Because I charge my watch every day, but the one thing I'd like to track, which the Apple Watch 5 can't track at the moment, the new Watch OS software coming out will have a sleep tracking element to it, but still, you then have to start charging your watch in the morning, but you can't wear it. And let's make it abundantly clear, the Apple Watch 5 is a smartphone on your wrist, basically. I have the cellular version as well, so I can make and receive calls. It pretty much does everything on a more simplified version than what you can do on an actual smartphone. So it's got that much capability. Can't do any of that on the Fitbit Inspire HR, but it's a 5-day battery, and the sleep tracking element means I can wear it overnight and it will track. I like wearable tech with sleep tracking because it's more accurate than something that's going to take your breathing. Because I used to track my sleep with Sleep Cycle, an app on the iPhone, and it would detect my breathing from its microphone. But you sleep with your wife and all that type of stuff. You can pick up other sounds and things that aren't you. So never going to be super accurate. Whereas something wearable that's based on your heart rate and your movements and motions and stuff, it's going to be far more accurate. So that's the number one reason I kind of went for it, was because of the sleep tracking side of things. It's really, really cool. I know over the course of time I need between 6.5 and 7.5 hours sleep a day. If I get more than that, I feel tired. If I get less than that, I feel tired. If I hit somewhere in that bracket, I feel pretty good. So that's what I aim for every night, and I can get accurate data about impact if I've drunk, if I've drunk alcohol the night before, caffeine or whatever. I can see the impact it has on my sleep, which is really important. A lot of people don't analyse their sleep, and it's probably one of the most important factors in how you feel as an individual and from an energy perspective. So strongly recommend if you look into a sleep tracker if you're not already doing so. The next massive reason for getting a Fitbit Inspire HR, now this wasn't the reason I purchased it, but it's kind of a Brucey bonus that I kind of incorporated, is I found the app so useful and so cool to use that even my wife, those of you who know my wife, she hates technology and that sort of stuff. So for her to actually want to wear a smartwatch or a Fitbit was huge. So she expressed an interest. It was actually by accident because my first Fitbit Inspire HR had a slight mark on the screen. So I said I wanted a replacement. So they sent me a replacement and said if I don't return the original, they'll charge me. So I didn't bother returning the original. I let my wife Kira have a go with it. She loved it. So we never sent it back and just ended up paying for it. But she loves it, and it's made her a lot more health aware. Now she's healthy anyway, but we eat well, but she was never doing as much exercise as she used to. She used to do a lot of running, and she was conscious about, does she do her 10,000 steps and all this type of stuff. And it's made her consciously aware of how active she is, and it's made her consciously do more exercise and activity, which is only going to be better for her and her health. So that was great. And then I kind of came from that. My 3 kids, 9, 7 and 5, were taking interest in it as well. So you can also buy these Fitbit Aces, which are, you can get the Fitbit Ace and the Fitbit Ace 2 The Ace 2 is for young, real young kids, like 6, 5 and under. But my 5-year-old is, I suppose, relatively advanced because he's grown up with older siblings. So I got them all a Fitbit Ace, and that tracks their sleep, so you can see how much sleep they're getting, their steps, and it just promotes a more active life for them. They're constantly competing with one another to have more steps. And in a world where we're so influenced by screens, it's been game changing for me and my family. So we're one of these annoying Fitbit families. But I track this, and I can track it all from my app. So I can see how much sleep the kids are getting. I can see how active they all are. We have these little cheesy competitions as a family, like daily competitions and weekly, working week, weekend hustles and all this type of stuff. And Fitbit just makes it quite fun, and the kids love it. And I think if it makes me and my family more consciously aware of health, then it's definitely a worthwhile investment. So that's basically every way I use the Fitbit. I don't use any other. I don't use the exercise tracking. I don't do. It automatically picks up my exercise, which is great, but I don't select like specifically running or anything, or the different sports apps you can put on it, because all that's done through my Apple Watch 5. So this is going to be a much longer part of this vlog because it's the Apple Watch 5, and it's probably sorry, it's really sweaty already. My favourite bit of running tech, because it links, it's the glue between everything. I mean, the only thing is connected to my AirPods Pro, it's connected to this camera, it connects to my Stride power adapter on my shoe. It just glues everything together. It's the connectability of it is outrageous, and how clever it is unbelievable. Now I know that you can get probably better sports fitness watches. I mean, Garmin, TomToms, and stuff that a lot of people swear by. Fitbit, some of the better Fitbits as well. But for an all-round watch that does everything, I would never switch from Apple. And for my work as well, I'm completely Apple orientated, I suppose, from a work perspective. MacBook Pros and iPads and iPhones and Apple Watches, AirPods Pro. You know, I'm completely in their ecosystem, and they almost trap you because it's really difficult to kind of come away from it when you're so used to that. So that's one of the main reasons I'm stick with Apple. Battery life is the one weakness. Hopefully it'll improve, but I can't really see it ever improving much because of the amount of work it does every day. Fitbit does nothing other than just sit on my wrist and track me moving. Whereas the Apple Watch is linking to so many things, it's reporting on so many things, it's responding on so many things. It just does so many different things. So let's go through my Apple Watch. And like I've talked about, one of the main benefits is its connectability. And you can control an Apple TV, you can control your TVs at home. It just links with pretty much everything. All the smart technology in your house, controls my thermostat, electric sockets, lighting, all this type of stuff. You can all do it from your wrist, and not just by wrist, but by voice as well. Siri is very, very cool. I hate the name, but it's pretty cool with how you can control everything by voice. And the actual voice detection is, in my opinion, far superior to what you get on the phone. To be honest, the latest phone that I've got is a bit better, but the ability of what the watch picks up, I think, is far better. So I'm going to go through some of the cool apps that I use now, so you can understand. Well, firstly, I obviously use the Bluetooth setting because that's how it normally connects to everything wirelessly, and it can handle multiple Bluetooth connections. I mean, it's currently connected to my camera and my AirPods Pro and my Stride app on the ground. So it's connected to 3 things simultaneously, and it can manage that. Occasionally, it has GPS as well. So occasionally I'll use an app called Footpath, which is how I get turn-by-turn direction on runs I've never been on. You'll see on some of my blogs. It looks as though I'm getting lost, but I'm actually following some turn-by-turn instructions to correct me, which stops me getting lost. And it can also run GPS on 2 apps simultaneously. So I'll be using a separate app for my running, which is my Stride app, which will be GPS tracking by distance, and it'll be using a navigation-based app on GPS as well. And there's the little cool ways you can select which uses the sports tracking GPS and which uses the navigational one. So so you don't lose accuracy in either of them, which is really, really cool. So that's kind of a lot of the technicalities. You don't need to understand too much more than that, other than it does connect so much. It's rare to find anything that beats it on connectability front. So that's really, really important. So going through the different apps that I use, I'll start with the complications. The other cool thing is on the watch face, you change the faces. Now, I'm just going past some people, so just bear with me a second. Morning. Super humid. Should definitely been in my vest. But yeah, you can change the watch face as you can with most smartwatches, but you can have up to 9 complications on your watch face. So that's 9 shortcuts basically to the most frequently used apps that you have, which is really, really cool. And not only are they shortcuts, they also give you information whilst you're on there. So on my watch face, I have an app for my weather, so I can see exactly what temperature it is, the weather conditions. It's also super accurate as well, so I can click on it and scroll into all the detail about weather at my fingertips, which I find really useful, especially when running. It normally stops me making poor decisions with running wear, but obviously I've gone wrong today. Should have been in the vest, definitely. I'll do a separate episode on how to choose what to wear. So don't get it wrong, because it's very uncomfortable when you do. So I track the weather with it, which is really important. I have the sunrise and the sunset times on it as well. So when you run a lot, some people like running in the night. I much prefer running in the day. Sometimes I can't fit it in the morning, so it'll be late in the afternoon or early evening. And knowing what time the sun sets means you can plan your runs accordingly. So pretty cool to have that on your wrist as well. I have links to my calendar, so obviously it gives me notifications when upcoming things are on. I have an app called Just Press Record. I've talked a lot about this app. It's the way I capture information when I'm out on the go. So anything I think about, I can just tap my wrist and talk into my watch. It will save it, and it will also, as audio, it will also transcribe it when I get back to my smartphone, which means that I can, I'm going past someone I know here, so I'll try not to be rude. But, Nige, how's it going, mate? Good to see you, mate. See you soon, yeah. That's good. He clearly didn't want to stop either. It's really rude when you see someone you know, and you then have to say, sorry, I'm just recording my vlog. It's really difficult to pause this when I'm in flow and then re-record it and start recording again without there being a massive obvious stitch point in the recording. So I like to keep them just running. So anyway, I digress. So just press record. Amazing. It's the way I capture information on the go. I don't forget anything. Super important productivity technique, and I've talked about this in other episodes. So try and think of how you can capture information on your wearable tech. The next one is my timer. So this little basic thing like most watches have. I can set timers and it will show on my watch face how long I've got. So pretty cool if I'm timing myself. My Stride app. Okay, so that's the power adapter, but it's the running app that I use because it gives me far more data metrics than a lot of the more main stay kind of running apps. I can get kind of 21 to 25 different running metrics all on my watch at the same time, and I love data, so I like that. That's why I use Stride. Also picks up power and cadence more accurately. It also has a GPS and chip in it as well, so it gives me more accurate distance based on it actually measuring my cadence and how far I'm actually running. So, morning. So, it's a bit muddy down here. You know my fear of getting dirty. So it links to my Stride app straight from my watch face, which is really cool. It also links to my Footpath app, which is the app where I get my turn-by-turn instructions, so I can see my maps and stuff, all from the watch face, which is really, really cool. And it also links to my podcast episodes as well. So it will store. I've talked about Footpath, so I'm not going to go into that anymore and the benefits of it, and I'll do a separate app reviewing it in more detail. But podcasts, brilliant. Because it's linked to Apple again, the Apple Podcast app, I can have all my podcasts automatically download to my watch. And the storage, I can't remember exactly what the storage capability is of my Apple Watch, but I don't have to even download them because I've got the cellular version. I've got access to all of Apple Music, podcast episodes, all through using my data. So I'm very seldom am I without everything I want to listen to and be learning from and be educated on my smartphone. So my Apple Watch. It's going past someone, so bear with me. Morning. So the podcast app is super cool, especially because it's Apple hardware and Apple software. So yeah, that's really, really cool. I also have Audible as well. Audible, I have to download and sync the books to. Now, audiobooks are generally not huge files, bizarrely. So I normally only have kind of 2 or 3 books on my watch at any one time, and I'll clear it and put the next ones on. But you think how much educational content I have with all my podcasts and all my audiobooks on my Apple Watch. I don't need to take my phone anywhere. No smartphone on me at all. Links perfectly with my AirPods Pro. And that means when I'm out running, I can learn so much whilst on the go, which is super important to me in my self-development process. So that's really cool. What else do I have? I have obviously Apple Music I've talked about. Basically I've got the whole of Apple Music on my watch, so I can just say to Siri, play whatever song I want, whatever playlist, and it will find it and play it for me. Very, very streamlined from running. So if you like to prefer music, I normally listen to music as a bit of a treat. My kids have it on at home all the time, so I get at home. When I'm running, I normally use that time when I'm in the car to educate myself further. Boring, I know, for some people, but it's just the best return on that time, as far as I'm concerned. So what other cool things can you do with it? I've got an app called Stow Card. Basically, all my loyalty cards are stored in it. So I go to Tesco, I can scan my club card for my watch. If I get to Co-op, I can scan my Co-op membership card, etc. So all of my loyalty cards are in there. One of the best features is Apple Wallet. I never take Apple Pay. I never pretty much take my wallet anywhere. I've got 45 quid worth of contactless payments on all my cards, all on my watch, and it's pretty secure. If I took my watch off, it locks, and nobody can kind of access that unless they know my passcodes. So it's pretty well protected. You get the same on your phone as well. But I think the days of credit cards and debit cards are numbered. Even less so than cash. Cash is pretty much gone. I can't remember. I haven't carried cash out for months and months. Probably the best part of a year I haven't carried cash. Just haven't needed it. And if I buy anything big, it's normally online. No cash needed there. If it's morning, if it's smaller and I'm out and about, and it comes to less than, used to be 30 quid, now 45, and I've got multiple cards, so I can just pay in multiple payments if needs be, contactless from my Apple Watch. So really, really cool. Also, when you're out running and you're doing long distance stuff and you haven't fueled, you can also plan a route around like convenience stores. You can pop in and get sweets or some fluids in you that way as well, which is really cool if you don't want to carry loads of stuff. So lots of cool hacks there that you can kind of adopt. So Apple Wallet is I should have talked about it earlier because it is hugely beneficial and something that I use all the time. So really important. What else do I use? Let me just scroll through some of my apps. I'm talking about all the kind of mainstay ones. Calculator is pretty cool. I can control my camera from it. I can link to my banking apps from it. Oh, I can control my car from it. That's a bit of a cool one. The fact that my car, I've got a BMW 5 Series, but it's got the tech included in it, so it links obviously Apple CarPlay, but it's got a BMW app as well. And Apple links very nicely with that, so I can start the engine, I can put the heating seats on, I can put the heated things on it, so in the morning I can heat or cool my car down before I start. I didn't quite get the one where you can control it to reverse park or anything like that. I think you can on the next level up, which is pretty scary and crazy. how technology is advancing. So the next one, currency exchange. Oh, it has an ECG app as well, fall detection as well. So if I fall over, it will call emergency services or give me a prompt to call the emergency services, which is really cool, especially if you're an older person as well. So some really cool health benefits there. I can access all my notes on it, so I'll talk about paperless. All of my files and stuff I can access on it, which if I need it when I'm on the go. Talked about Fitbit, I can track my habits on it, heart rate zones I can record on it, all my messages, so I can do all text messaging and communications from it. It's all done by voice. It's not always 100% accurate, but morning, but for quick text messages, morning, it's accurate enough, normally very accurate, which is pretty cool. So text communication stuff, it's all on the go. And bear in mind, all of this is voice activated as well. You can get it to open and close and start and trigger things. Really, really cool, all from voice activation. What else have I got on there? I talked about banking apps, news apps, obviously, night sky. Like it's got a compass in it as well, so you can point it up at the sky and it tells you what's about. Tells you about noise, how loud the noise is around you to protect your ears. Pretty cool. All your parking apps, so I can pay for parking all on it as well. Once it stores your details. Photos, reminders. I've talked about remotes and how it can control your Apple TV if you've got it, or your smart TV. Strava. Obviously, I sync to Strava. I don't use it as a running app, other than to record all my runs and to have the social. Sorry, I just got dropped there as I was recording. I said this would be a long episode, but yeah. So to summarise, I'll just go back to the main benefits of Fitbit Inspire, or other Fitbits will pretty much use the same software. So the software that goes with Fitbit is really, really good. And the main reason for having Fitbit as well is for sleep tracking, for daily health statistics, and an affordable way to get all your family. I mean, the Fitbit Aces I was talking about, you can get a Fitbit Inspire HR for about 60 quid, about 45 to 50 quid for the Fitbit Aces as well. Still a bit of an investment, but you'll get it back tenfold in how healthy your kids should be, should they adopt it. So they're the two main reasons I use a Fitbit Inspire HR, which are the two things that I probably could get for Apple. I can definitely get the daily health tracking, but I prefer the Fitbit software and the user interface of the Fitbit software. I'm pretty sure you can do the family side of things with Apple, but they're the best part of 500 quid for the top range Apple Watch. So it's going to be £2.5 grand for a family of 5, compared to 60, 120, and then about 270 all in for a Fitbit family. Significantly different investment. So that's pretty much it for me today. Hope you found this useful. Any questions on this stuff? I've probably missed out loads of things because I've probably done the Apple Watch 5 a little bit of an injustice in some of the other things you can do. So any questions, just chuck them at me. I've been using every version of the watch since it was released, so there's not a lot about them I don't know. There'll be a few bits obviously, but not many. So yeah, any questions? Morning. Any questions, just fire at me. As always, my guarantee is I'll respond to every question I possibly can. Well, I'll respond to every question. If it's a bigger topic, I'll still respond, but I'll do a separate blog episode. So I'll tag you in, which will be hopefully useful. So pretty much it with me. If you're finding this valuable and so you think someone else will benefit from it, please tag them in and share it, or just give it some likes, which will certainly enhance this engagement. If you're on other channels, please subscribe or follow as well, because I will be doing unique content to each platform in the near future. So don't miss out on that stuff if this is relevant. And on the flip side, if this is not really very relevant to you or you don't find it interesting, just unfollow or unfriend me. It won't clutter up your news feeds. No hard feelings there. So I hope it's useful. As always, stay positive, stay happy, and I'll see you when I've cooled down, because I'm absolutely overheating in this ridiculously humid t-shirt I'm wearing, which should have been a vest, but that's for another episode. So speak to you soon. Bye.